My name is Kenny Barron, sometimes pianist. That's a song I remember from years ago. Horace Silver, J.J. Johnson, Roger, drummer from Pittsburgh, Roger Humphreys. It's an incredible recording. I fell in love with Horace, I guess when I was in junior high school. I heard a song on the radio, an album called 6 Pieces of Silver. And the song was Senor Blues. And at the time, we didn't have a record player. So I would go up to a luncheonette about 5 blocks away and put some money in the jukebox all day, just so I could listen to that song. His main thing, though, for me, was his compositions, his writing, all of his music, all of his recordings. The melodies are complex, but at the same time very simple, very rhythmic, almost danceable sometimes. And his playing is characterized with this really heavy left hand, punctuating everything that he did in his right hand, so yeah, for me, 10 stars. The Lesbiana, a suite composed by his pianist at the time, Lalo Schifrin. Lalo was from Argentina, but he was a great pianist and composer. And I actually took Lalo Schifrin's place with Dizzy. I had a chance to play this very complicated piece. I'm glad we didn't do it too often. I stayed with Dizzy for 4 years, till 1966. It's like going to school. It was a great experience working with Dizzy. Not just musical stuff, but other kinds of things, How to save yourself, how you don't have to play everything all the time. Save something for the next chorus or for the next night, And also how to present yourself. Dizzy was very gracious. He was very respectful. He had a reputation for being humorous on the bandstand. He was also humorous off the bandstand. But he was the first person I ever saw who would smoke, because you could smoke on airplanes then. He would smoke weed in business class. And he had some sort of way of holding his breath so you couldn't smell it. I don't know how he did that. And a couple of times we went up there and he wanted to pass the pipe. We said, no, thank you. That band was a funny band anyway. We just finished playing a song, and all of a sudden the bass player, Chris White, took off his shirt and says, time to reveal my true identity, and had on a Superman shirt. Little things like that. Makes me wish I spoke Portuguese, Brazilian Portuguese. That's one of the songs I really fell in love with, berimbau. One string instrument with a big gourd on the end, and they played with a coin, and they changed the pitch by moving the coin up and down. I had a group called Canta Brazil, and the drummer was Duduca da Fonseca. And sometimes he would play that, to introduce the song. He would play the berimbau. And it's fascinating, all kinds of sounds out of that. So it sets up a very exciting groove. When I met Sergio Mendes, I told him that he was the one who was responsible for my interest in Brazilian music. And he was, oh, really? He was quite surprised, I've had a chance to go to Brazil a few times and to hear the music live and to play it with Brazilian musicians is totally different from playing it with bebop guys. The harmonies in Brazilian music are sometimes very subtle. Sometimes you hear there's a passage and there's one note that moves, one note, and it makes such a big difference in the sound and the palette, the whole color palette. Just one note can make that much of a difference. Okay, Ornette Coleman, Shape of Jazz to Come. I heard that record when it first came out, and I was totally flabbergasted. Critics weren't so kind. He definitely has something different, something new, and it wasn't a lot of noise. If you listen to it, it's very melodic. And to this very day, I can still sing those solos from Ornette and from Don Cherry. You know, and then you'd have Charlie Hayden, who's the beautiful Sonar's bass sound, and Billy Higgins, Smiling Billy, you know. I don't think I've ever seen a picture of Billy Higgins where he wasn't smiling. I think having a piano player on this would have stifled them. This way they were a little freer with no harmonic instruments. It was a great influence. I wrote a song called Phantoms. My inspiration was that song. I didn't quite make it, but that's okay. Like I said, something else came out, which is a good thing. He actually called me one time to make a gig. This was at Carnegie Hall. I remember going to rehearsal, and he was trying to explain his harmonic concept, which I could not grasp. So at the gig, I just played, you know, based on what everyone else was playing. And it worked. It was fine, you know. And I wish I had the opportunity to do it again, because I really loved his playing. I loved his compositions. He changed a lot. He changed a lot in the music scene. What's interesting about this record is, well, first of all, I was there, because at the time I was living on the Lower East Side with the bassist, Reggie Workman. He said, why don't you come by the session? So I did, and it was nice. It was really nice. Everybody was very focused on the job at hand. You know, they were really into the music. Like Art Davis and Reggie had different styles, but they managed to make it work. And of course, Train and Elvin and McCoy, you know, have been playing together, so fit like a glove, yeah. The first time I heard him live was in Philly, a place called the Showboat. And he had Reggie Workman, and Elvin. My mouth wide open. First of all, I had never heard anybody play like Elvin Jones before. They played one song, I think it was for about 40 minutes. And it wasn't boring, because it went in a lot of different places, you know. Train was relentless in terms of practicing. When McCoy was soloing, if there was a dressing room in back of the bandstand, that's where he would go and practice some more. He really changed the shape of the saxophone. So much so that a lot of pianists wanted to play like him or play like McCoy, because the two of them together kind of put that sound together. You know, I knew McCoy from Philadelphia. His playing when he was in Philly was a little more straight ahead. And when McCoy came, that's when things started to really gel, things started to really happen. To find something to play during a 20-minute solo, you know. But they did that by doing that, transposing this one scale over many different chords and situations, you know. He was always searching, reaching for whatever it was. A lot of people feel that one of the reasons he died so young was because he had found everything. I don't know if that's true or not. I don't think he found everything, but he did a lot.
Hey everyone, Terrence Blanchard here. Thanks for watching this video. If you dug it, be sure to give it a like or leave a comment. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. We've got lots more videos coming out soon. Last note, if you want to watch some amazing concerts filmed at our venue, head over to our website and check out SF Jazz at Home. Thanks for your support and stay tuned.